The Jets are a win away from going back to the playoffs, and their wide receiver, not Brandon Marshall, not Decker, but if you watch the Jets, this guy's made some plays, and he made a big one this past weekend. They beat the Pats. Quincy and Enunwa with us here on Tiki and Tierney. Quincy, how are you today?
I'm doing well. Thanks, guys, for having me on.
You got it. So our producer's a bit of a smart guy, and he said during the break, he said, "Hey, how come this guy makes the incredibly difficult catches, but the easy ones he has a penchant for dropping?" And yeah, he's kind of messing around, but you make some really hard plays, and then I think other times, and maybe it's being a rookie, maybe it's kind of learning the speed of the game. But is that a fair assessment of your game so far?
Yeah, I think that's fair. Obviously, it's not something that I'm proud of or anything that I'm not working on. But yeah, sometimes the easy plays, you kind of get a mental lapse and you don't focus as hard as you would as a play where it's a lot more difficult. And that's something I'm working on. Hopefully, I can get it finished and worked on by the end of the year.
Well, you had some big plays in this game last weekend, and I wonder as we've come down the stretch and it's gotten tight for you guys, having to win to get in type of thing. Does that increase your urgency? And what's it like from the veterans there who have been there before? Obviously, Brandon Marshall and Eric Decker.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we want to really increase our urgency. I think we want to kind of stay level-headed and kind of make sure that we stay focused on the process. We have goals, and we've set those goals from the beginning of the year. And so, we're just kind of taking steps to get to that final level, that final platform that we want to get to. In terms of the veterans, those guys, a couple guys haven't even made it to the playoffs. Brandon Marshall, Ryan Fitzpatrick. So I think for them, it's kind of just making sure everybody's together so we can kind of get to that level.
What do you think, for those who might not know, you're playing the Bills this weekend up in Western New York. Of course, the Bills beat you on the Thursday this year earlier. We all know about Rex's history, and we all know that he would love to end your season or at least compromise it. What do you think this weekend's going to be like up in Buffalo between the Jets and the Bills? The emotion.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to give them any bulletin board material. Rex is the kind of coach that'll take that and run with it. Playing for him, I've seen it before. But I know they're going to really play hard. This is their last game. They're not making it to the playoffs, so they're going to really make sure that they try to keep us out of the playoffs. And so our goal is to make sure that we do our job and stay level-headed throughout the whole process.
I like the answer. That, boy, Todd's teaching you well. Just give us benign responses so we can't create controversy, which I'm always ready to do, by the way, Quincy. Although I wouldn't do it to my team. No, it's all good. Quincy Enunwa with us here. He's on the Jets, and he's a wideout. I have this notion when I watch you play, and I'm not just saying this because you're on the show, but I've actually said this a few times. I've walked in on Mondays following your games, and I say, I'm a Jets fan, I say, man, this kid's interesting. This kid is good. And I wonder, what do you go, about 6'2", 225, 228, something like that? I know you're a very good blocker, and I know that the team likes that about you. You've showed a penchant for big plays, which we discussed. Is there a possibility that you could tack on, 15, 18 pounds over the years and become a tight end? Or are you 100% wide receiver? How do you view yourself moving forward?
Well, I mean, just playing receiver the whole time, I'd like to stay there. But, if the coaches would want me to move to tight end at any point, I wouldn't mind it at all. There would be certain techniques that I'd have to kind of learn. And that would be kind of a process, in terms of just me playing. Whereas I'm playing like an H-back position now, and there are certain techniques I don't really have to know that I can already know as a receiver. So I mean, I'm more than willing to move, but I think I'm doing well at my spot right now, and I know I have a lot to gain still.
Now, last year you were on the squad, didn't play a lot, or if at all, did you last season? But this year, you come into the year, Geno Smith is your starting quarterback, and we all know what happened in the offseason, and he I don't want to say loses his starting job. He couldn't start, so he loses his starting job, and Ryan Fitzpatrick takes the helm. How has he been as your quarterback? Because from the outside looking in, the last 5 weeks, he's been outstanding and maybe as good as any in the league right now.
Yeah, it's a testament to Ryan's character, and his hard work. For a guy to come in, he had a broken leg, and everybody kind of thought that he was just going to be a number two. Then all of a sudden, everything turned around. An unexpected event happened, and he just kind of carried this team throughout the whole season. And I love him as our as our quarterback, and he's done a great job for us.
Yeah, he's 5-0 since he trimmed the beard, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
That's
That's
amazing.
impressive.
Oh my God, I never liked the beard look. I think he's married, so he doesn't have to impress anybody at this point, I guess, except his wife a little bit. Quincy and Enunwa with us here on CBS Sports Radio, Tiki and Tierney. All right, so the previous regime drafted you. All right, so you were drafted by Rex when Rex was still the head coach, and now Todd Bowles, which is a complete 180 from personality. What don't we know about Todd that what do you see that we don't see? Because on this game day, he's pretty stoic. He's pretty emotional. What is he like when nobody's watching? To you guys?
Yeah, that's funny you say that. You know, a lot of my family, they all say the same thing. You know, does he smile? Does he do any this and that? And actually, he does a lot of that. You know, I think you know, he's got a great poker face. I definitely wouldn't want to play him in a poker game. You know, you'll never know what he has. He's really good at kind of keeping his emotions intact and making sure that he's not showing too much. But at the same time, you know, you guys don't always get to see everything because the camera only shows so much.
Mm-hmm.
And so there are plenty of situations. There are plenty of situations where he's smiling, laughing, yelling. You know, they just don't always catch it on the camera.
You know, Quincy, we were talking about obviously your game yesterday or 2 days ago, much of the day yesterday, because of the decision that Bill Belichick made to kick the ball off. So 2 questions here. One, what were you guys thinking on your sideline when you're given this opportunity? Is it almost a slap in the face? They can stop us. And then secondly, on the second play from scrimmage in overtime, on 2nd and 8 from the 22, you go 48 yards, almost break away and score, and put your team in position for the game-winning score. What were your thoughts on both of those?
Yeah, the coin flip, you know, that's kind of, there was so many emotions going through my head, you know, just the fact that, you know, he would send out his defense to go against us right now when we have the opportunity to score first and end the game. You know, it's kind of like almost a slap in the face, definitely. But then at the same time, it's like, okay, it's a challenge. So, you know, we took that challenge and made sure that we took the most of it. And then with the score, or the almost score, the 48-yarder, you know, I think it was kind of like a redemption play for me. You know, I was glad that Fitz came back to me, and it came back to me so soon. So I made sure that when I had my opportunity, I was going to make the most of it.
Quincy, I look at the Jets, and well, you're not going to win the division, you know, if you handle business against Rex's Bills this weekend. You go into the postseason. In all probability, would go to Cincinnati and to play the Bengals. You know, I look at the Jets as one of the few teams that can go all the way. And I wonder, because there's so many new players, guys that have never played a playoff game. You mentioned Marshall, Fitzpatrick as well. Are you thinking Super Bowl, or are you just thinking, well, we're just kind of happy to be here? Do you think you could win the whole thing this season?
Well, that's the thing, you know, that was our goal, you know. I think if you don't have that goal in mind, especially when you have an opportunity to make it to the playoffs, you're not doing the right thing. You know, we want to make it to the next level and keep taking steps every day, like I said before. So, you know, I definitely want to make it to that Super Bowl. But, you know, we got to take it one game at a time and make sure we're focusing on the game at hand.
There's the Bulls quote. One game at a time, game at hand. I hear you. I got you. Quincy Enunwa, wide out for the Jets with us here on Tiki and Tierney.
Quincy, before you let you go, you know that we know that in January 5th, it's a Tuesday, down at Chelsea Piers, you and a bunch of other Giants and Jets are involved with the Muscle Team Gala to benefit muscular dystrophy. Tell us what you guys have going on there.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a huge opportunity for all of us. You know, this is my first year doing it. You know, I heard about it, and it's a great opportunity, really. You know, there's a lot of kids with muscular dystrophy in the U.S., and we're just kind of trying to bring the muscle to the research. You know, that's one of their big ideas, you know, and just kind of bringing us all together. A lot of the heroes in this area, you know, a lot of kids really look up to us as professional athletes, and we kind of want to use our influence to bring some money into that research and hopefully, you know, end that whole disease. You know, obviously, you know, it's hard to do, but we really want to help out as much as we can.
That sounds good. And the number, if anybody wants to contribute, 212-682-5272. We'll tweet that stuff out for you. It's a great cause. Dreaded disease, muscular dystrophy. Quincy, good job. And Tiki knows, you know, and our audience knows I'm a huge Jets fan, but I'm also a tough critic. And I'm impressed with you, man. Keep on the right track. I've been talking you up for, you know, about 7-8 weeks now. I like what I see. Hold on to those easy ones. We might have something, all right?
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Take care, Quincy.
All
Good
right,
luck.
pal. Be nice.